Yeah. How are you? Thank you. Yeah, I had a whole bunch of. And I think I put some. We left at the 12:30 train, so we 30. Pretty got in at 7. They were not going to be there.
Okay.
2 engines on it, and I told I said, Dan, we cannot be late, or else the business travelers will get them late to one.
Yeah.
Joseph's card.
Very,
Got
you
some
signed
more?
it?
Very sobering.
We ready to get going? Rhonda, is there any additions to the agenda?
No, Mr. Chairman, no additions to the agenda.
Okay, County Council, you want to read the items into the record?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank
Closed
you.
session.
Yes, good morning. Two items on this morning's closed session. One is request for closed session conference with labor negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6. County negotiators Adrian Caleb and Ken Caves. Employee organizations up for discussion are all units. And the second item is a request for closed session public employee performance evaluation pursuant to Government Code Section 54957. And the title of position being evaluated as Director of Social Services. Any public comment on those items is appropriate at this time?
Public comment, I don't see anybody running up, so we'll go into closed session now and talk about this and that, whatever else.
Not whatever else. Not whatever else.
Oh,
Whatever else.
okay, folks. We'll get it going. Oh. Miller. Okay. Nice shirt. Okay, County Council, is there anything to report out of closed session?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. No action was taken on either item. There were two items on this morning's closed session. No action was taken by the board in closed session.
Thank you. We're going to open and close in the memory of two very close friends of mine. I just found out about the one lady this morning, but Martin Lewis, his mom and I went to high school, graduated high school together, and I kind of helped. Their dad got killed a few years ago, quite a few years ago. They were all in grammar school, and I helped raise these boys. And he had got cancer in his lungs and it affected his heart. He's been at Stanford for almost a month, and he passed away last Thursday. And Martin Lewis. And then the other one was, I found out this morning, is Joanne Childers, who her and I went to high school together also. You know, Chili Childers. His wife passed away Saturday. And they didn't catch it. She had cancer in her liver. And they operated last Thursday, and I guess it didn't do very good. So she passed away Saturday. Great lady. Max, her husband was the saw filer at the mill for 100 years. And she's a great lady. So we lost two very important people. And any other supervisors? They're on, yeah. They're on.
You have to push this now. I just wanted to open and close in remembrance of Mike Bianchi. He's a great guy here in Madera, Finnish carpenter, hardworking, but passed away at 62, just way too young. His son, Matt and Jason, were good friends of mine, and his grandson worked for me, and just a great family. So heart goes out to the Bianchis, and but I also not in remembrance, but there's something kind of cool that's happening at Liberty High School on Friday. You know how they do like signings for if you're doing a letter of intent to go to a college. They're doing one for kids that are signing to go into the military and having like an event
cool.
around it. And so I just wanted to not open in in memory of them, but kind of in honor of them, and to let them know that we're with them as they go forward to serve in our military and protect us. And that's Logan Carter, Isaac Casares, Jasper Blanchett, Nicholas Eddings, and Nolan Wright. So want them to know that we're behind them, and
100%.
we'll be having something for all of us to sign to give to them on Friday.
Great. Thank you. Any other supervisors? Anything? Seeing none.
Oh, wait, one more. I think we should, being Law Enforcement Memorial Day, we should open and close in the memory of the any of law enforcement that's lost their life, also protecting us here.
Right. Thank you, Brett. Invocation would be by Father John Warburton. Thank Joachim. And Joseph, this was your birthday yesterday. How would you like to lead the flag salute today? Thank you.
O God, our Father, creator of heaven and earth, in you we put our trust. The ends of the earth stand in awe at the sight of your wonders. The lands of sunrise and sunset you fill with your joy. And thus you provide for the earth. You drench its furrows, you level it, soften it with showers, you bless its growth. Send forth your Holy Spirit. Give us light and strength to know your will, to make it our own, to live it in our lives. You desire justice for all. Enable us to uphold the rights of others. Do not allow us to be misled by ignorance or corrupted by fear or favor. As we gather in your name, may we temper justice with love, so that all our discussions and reflections may be pleasing to you and earn the reward promised to good and faithful servants. We ask this of you who live and reign with the Father and the Son, one God, forever and ever. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Joseph, very much. As everyone knows, this is our Madera County's 125th birthday anniversary. We're honoring the past, embracing the present, and looking ahead to the future. It's up there. Minturn was located a mile and a half northwest of Chowchilla along the Southern Pacific Railroad. Minturn Post Office opened in 1884 and closed in 1922 in favor of building one in Chowchilla. The name commemorates Jonas and Thomas Minturn, who grew wheat in the region and arranged for a freight siding when the railroad reached their place in 1872. So, is there any buildings out there now at all? Dave? Monument? Oh. I don't think I've ever heard of that little community. So, okay, item number 4 is public comment. After Rhonda reads that, I'm going to go into, I'm going to do the first public comment. So after you read it into.
Public comment. The first 15 minutes of each regular session is set aside for members of the public to comment on any item within the jurisdiction of the board but not appearing on the agenda. Items presented under public comment may not be discussed or acted upon by the board at this time. For items appearing on the agenda, the public is invited to comment at the time the item is called for consideration by the board. Any person addressing the board under public comment will be limited to a 3-minute presentation. To ensure that all interested parties have an opportunity to speak, any handouts to the board must be submitted to the chief clerk of the board for distribution to the supervisors. Anyone addressing the board is asked to print their name clearly on the speaker sheet at the podium. Also, all persons addressing the board may state their name and county of residence for the record.
Thank you. Well, my name is Tom Wheeler, if you don't know. To speak. And the first thing we're going to do is sing happy birthday to Joseph and to Brett. So everybody ready? Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brett and Joseph. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Joseph, come up. Joseph, like diecast. There you go, buddy.
I've still yet to get one.
But you're not the favorite.
Yeah, I know.
He's my friend. And, you know.
At least this year you remembered that it was my birthday.
Right.
You know, the last time you didn't.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe. Got anything to say?
Happy birthday.
Joe's 38 years old yesterday.
33.
Oh, 33. That's right. I keep trying to get him to catch up with me, but, you know, he's just. Thank you for all you do for us, Joseph. We really, really appreciate it. You've come a long way since, was it 2008? 2008. He started coming to our board meetings, making public comments, and now he's one of our star employees. So Thank you very much. Why not? Hear that, folks? Our next president right there.
There. Go show.
Hey, take a picture. You guys want to come down?
Yeah.
Come on down. Be special.
Thank you.
Now we got the most important work done. We'll go back to public comment.
Second most important. My name is Dennis Cook, and I'm the Director of Behavioral Health. People always often ask me why I enjoy working so much here in Madera County, and this display is a sure big part of it. You know what a great place to work for and to work with all the people here. Anyway, morning, Chairman Wheeler and board members. Happy birthday, Pat.
Thank you.
May is National Mental Health Month. As you could tell by the colors green, and we wear the little ribbons, and the different ribbons that we wear for different remembrances of month and mental health. We have taken on the color of the lime green, and it gives us a time just to think about it and to remind ourselves about the issues of mental illness. National Mental Health Month raises awareness about mental illness and related issues. In recent times, attitudes and our trends have kind of softened around mental health issues. We have changed some of the stigma and discrimination. We have a long ways to go, but it seems like the tide is changing. We've always had negative attitudes and stigma associated with mental illness, but we notice that it is starting to reduce. But too often we associate violence with mental illness. If we look at the recent shootings at the schools and the churches, and then on the news, they always report on the incident, and then they say, oh, this person had mental health issues, as if that was the sole cause, when really it's a very complex situation on how we explain it. But I think sometimes as humans that we like to kind of have a neat, wrapped up reason that something occurred. And that's probably not the case. It's probably more complex. It has to do with other issues. In fact, too often, if you look at those statistics, people with mental illness, violence is perpetrated on them at a very high alarming rate, 3 to 5 times as many times to them as it is people that don't have mental illness. Okay, even though a lot of us have had different levels of mental illness. Who hasn't felt sad or depressed at times or anxious with something? And a lot of times it's how we deal with that, and with family, with friends, with support, and our internal ways that we deal with that. And then there's some people that just struggle with that day in and day out with their mental illness. Here in Madera, we have our own challenges with clients with mental illness. But I do want to take a moment with all of that to talk about the staff that are working today. Today we have about 150 staff in one of our 4 clinics. They're going to see somewhere between 200 to 250 clients. That's about our average daily that walk through our doors. At one of our 4 clinics, we have 2 here in Madera, 1 in Chowchilla, 1 up in Oakhurst. And then we also have staff that go out in the community. We have staff that are going to go over to the emergency room in case a client has a 5150. We have staff that are associated with clients in the jail or a juvenile hall. We have staff that are going to go out to schools. We have staff that are going to go find people that are homeless and see how they can help them. And we actually have staff then that get in cars and then they drive to other communities as far away as down south in Southern California, up to Sacramento, wherever clients, residents of Madera County are in inpatient psychiatric hospitals. They're going to go visit them and to start forming a relationship or continue the relationship they had with them. And I'll tell you, without the fantastic staff that we have, we would not have the services we do. Make no bones about that. And then lastly, on behalf of the clients, the family members, the community as a whole, is I want to be able to just thank those staff that every day with their professionalism, their passion to help people, their efforts time and time again to reach out to help someone that doesn't always accept it, challenging days, challenging work, challenging notes and charts and all the things that we have to go through every day. I just want to say a big thank you on behalf of those people.
Thank you, Dennis. We got a proclamation for you.
Yeah, the proclamation is actually on consent. That's why I kind of spoke.
Well, I know, but I was going to read it for you. So.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
Mental Health Month, May 2018. Fitness, #4Mind4Body. Whereas mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being, and whereas all Americans experience times of difficulty and stress in their lives, and whereas prevention is an effective way to reduce the burden of mental health conditions, and whereas there is a strong research that diet, exercise, sleep, and stress management can help all Americans protect their health and well-being, and whereas mental health conditions are real and prevalent in our nation, and whereas with effective treatment, those individuals' mental health conditions can recover and lead full, productive lives. And whereas each business, school, government agency, healthcare provider, organization, and citizens shares the burden of mental health problems and has a responsibility to promote mental wellness and support prevention efforts. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Madera, State of California, is hereby proclaimed May 2018 as Mental Health Month in Madera, California. And be it further proclaimed that the Madera County Board of Supervisors call upon the citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools in Madera to commit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health, the steps our citizens can take to protect their mental health, and the need for appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental health conditions before stage 4.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much, and thank you, Dennis, for the great job you do. Is there any other public comment? Oh,
Everyone, this is Brett Frazier as a
mental health
resident.
patient?
Brett Frazier, 292 Pinnacle Drive. I just wanted to thank, and I know this could have gone on the Public Works celebration, but since Ahmad's going to be talking, I didn't know if I'd ever get to have a word in edgewise. So, so I just wanted to thank the Public Works Department for Road 37. It is amazing to drive on that. You used to have to, like I would have to sit kind of in my car because it would be slanted like this, and then you'd hit the potholes and go around it, and they ground it up, and it's,
related?
huh?
Grounded and related?
Yeah, and it is, I mean, it is beautiful. It's wider. It's just smooth as can be. As a resident, I just want to thank you because, like, literally you've made my life better, as well as everybody out there. And so, you know, that's what the end result is that you make people's lives better. And I just want to thank you while you're in here today.
Thank you. And then, obviously, anybody else at noon to 1:30 today is the Madera County Law Enforcement Memorial Ceremony, and it's over at the park over here. So if you guys want to go over and have your lunch over there while we celebrate the our law enforcement over the last 125 years from Madera County. And then, so everybody knows, that's the reason I want to do it today while everybody's still here under public comment. May 15th, our next week's board meeting is actually going to be in the old boardroom over there in the courthouse. So we're going to have it. It's on the road again. It'll be our fourth out of meeting out of here. So if you got any friends or anything, have them come and look at our beautiful museum and watch the board meeting over there. So I can't wait to do it there. I think that is super duper good. So, okay, no more public comment. We'll move on to item number 5, consent calendar. Any questions from the board members?
Move to approve.
Any questions from the public on the consent calendar? We got a motion. We got a second. Got a second from Dave. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Rodriguez?
Yes.
Supervisor Wheeler?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
So now, Dennis, you can officially get your proclamation. Okay. Now we're moving to item 7. The 7A, please.
7A. Board of Supervisors Department, presentation of certificates of recognition to Madera South High School Wrestling Team as participants of the 29th Annual National High School Coaches Association National Championship in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Okay. You want to read one of them? You got them there?
I do.
Okay, just read one of them, and then we'll have them all come up.
So these are certificates of recognitions for participation in the 29th Annual National High School Coaches Association National Championships in Virginia Beach. And this is for Augie, who finished in the top 32 in the senior division. That's Augustine Garcia. We have Florencio Hernandez, who also is competing in the senior division. Ricardo Adami, also competing in the senior division. Abel Cardenas, who finished in the top 12 nationwide. Dylan Miracle, who was placing 7th nationwide and receiving All-American honors. And Juan Ricky Garcia for making it to the top 32 of 2,000 athletes nationwide.
You gentlemen want to come up here to the front? We've got certificates for you, and maybe we can get a picture or two. What?
You know, I wrestled in high school, never as good as them, but every time I just shake. Oh, thank you.
Where's mine? Next time, I'm not going to call Brett.
That's his friend.
Yeah.
That's his friend.
I don't need one, really. I just had to say that.
But every time I remember shaking hands, and usually after I got a handshake like that, I ended up on my back pinned pretty quickly. So I was kind of nervous up here when they started shaking my hand.
I was too.
Yeah. But you know, there's a lot of work that goes into to wrestling, especially. I mean, it is physically and mentally tough. You know, you can be built, but if you're not mentally tough, like these gentlemen are, you know, you can't get to that next level. And to be able to get through things, you know, wrestling, even though I was bad at it, has helped me through life. And I see bright futures for all of you. And I wish we would have had you at the bottom of the agenda so you could have got out of school for a little bit longer. But sorry, we had you pretty close to the top. But thank you for making us proud and representing us well at nationals. Thanks, guys.
After being through this meeting, they probably prefer being in
I know.
school.
7B.
7B, Public Works Department, proclamation recognizing May 20th through May 27, 2018 as National Public Works Week in the County of Madera. Whereas the Public Works Department provides services for community, county, and are a vital and integral part of the citizens' everyday lives. And whereas the support of the community is vital to the efficient operation of public works systems and programs such as water, sewers, streets, fleet maintenance, building maintenance, wastewater treatment, solid waste collection, and airport operations. And whereas the health, safety, and comfort of this community greatly depends on these facilities and services. Whereas the quality and effectiveness of these facilities, as well as their planning, design, and construction, is vitally dependent upon the efforts and skill of public works officials. And whereas the efficiency and effectiveness of the qualified and skilled staff contribute to the quality of life that residents and visitors alike enjoy and rely upon from the County of Madera. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Madera County Board of Supervisors that we recognize and extend appreciation to our dedicated and skilled staff, and hereby proclaim the week of May 20th through 27th as National Public Works Week. And be it further proclaimed that the Madera County Board of Supervisors requests that all citizens and civic organizations acquaint themselves with the issues involved in providing public works services to our community, and to recognize the contributions which our public works employees make every day to our health, safety, and comfort and quality of life.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm Adel Kayat, Public Works Director. Thank you, Rhonda, for reading the proclamation. I promise my speech is much shorter than the proclamation itself. National Public Works Week celebrates and honors the tens of thousands of men and women in North America, of which about 130 of them are right here in Madera County. The excellent staff provides, operates, and maintains the physical infrastructure essential to the county's residents and to economic and social development. These daily services, collectively known as public works. The American Public Works Association started National Public Works Week in 1960 to call attention to the importance of public works in community life. The week seeks to enhance the prestige of the unsung heroes of our society who serve the public good every day with quiet dedication. The County of Madera is proud to highlight its efforts through infrastructure improvement, maintaining of public facilities, and environmental sustainability. It is with pride that the Public Works Department continues to grow in service providing, and has become even more flexible to provide prompt and professional assistance to our constituents. I would like to celebrate Public Works Week to recognize the hard work that our peers, co-workers, and employees put in and day out, all year long in every season. We manage, operate, and maintain 1,500 miles of roads, 118 road districts, 30 water districts, 15 wastewater districts, about 300 miles of levees and channels. There you go, Stephanie. Several drop structures, diversion weirs and gate structures, a landfill, and a solid waste collection program. The power of public works is the theme of the poster of this year's Public Works, and as you see on the screen. 2018 National Public Works Week poster gives voice to the impact of many facets of public works have on modern civilization. From providing clean water to disposing of solid waste to building roads and bridges or planning for and implementing mass transit, removing snow on roadways, or devising emergency management strategies to meet natural and man-made disasters. Public works services determine a society's quality of life. This year's poster honors the vital contribution public works professionals make every day to communities all across North America, and it invites the public to celebrate their quiet dedication and indispensable influence on our way of life. So please join me in celebrating National Public Works Week. And I do have the staff who are able to and be here for them to be recognized, and I want to thank them on your behalf for a job well done.
And we do the presentation with this. We'd like to have them all come up and talk to Brett. Oh, that was from before?
Well, that was from before. But
Oh, okay.
Thank you again.
Yeah. Thanks again for his Road 37 now.
Yeah.
I need 222, 224, 426. Got them lined up?
And,
Very
and
hard.
I'm working with the city of Madera to investigate the status of Road 28. So
Good man.
doing our best.
Okay, you guys want to come down and get a picture with
Yep.
Come on up, crew.
That's probably not a public works employee.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, very, very much. Okay.
Before you guys leave out of here, I just want to say thank you for your great responses, your quick responses, all that you do for us. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Whoops. Okay, item 7C.
7C, Social Services Department, presentation of proclamation naming May 2018 as Foster Parent Appreciation Month. Whereas foster parents selflessly serve the children and families in Madera County by opening their homes to care for abused and neglected children. And whereas currently 289 children and youth are in out-of-home care in Madera County. And whereas a child's success is best supported in a system that is family-focused, child-centered, and community-based. And whereas foster parents provide a meaningful connection to these children and youth and become a trustworthy and lasting presence in their lives. And whereas especially during the month of May, we express our gratitude and respect to the many foster parents throughout Madera County who make a meaningful difference in the lives of the children and youth in foster care. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Madera, State of California is hereby proclaimed May 2018 as Foster Parent Appreciation Month in Madera County.
Good morning,
you.
Chairman Wheeler and members of the board. Karen Sandu, Deputy Director, Department of Social Services. On behalf of our Director, Deborah Martinez, we'd like to thank you for recognizing National Foster Parent Appreciation Month. We currently have 60 foster families. So I also have our Deputy Director, Danny Morris, and our Program Manager, Steve Duckworth, and our staff, and we'll be introducing them in a little bit. So during this month, we are proud to honor the dedicated foster parents, including relatives and non-relatives, our social workers, public and private agencies, and community partners who have worked together to ensure a better life for children and youth in the foster care system. In celebration, the department has scheduled an appreciation dinner for May 18th, and you are all invited to attend. So hopefully you got your invitation. So I'd like to recognize Program Manager Steve Duckworth, our Foster Parent Resource Family Social Worker team, and our foster parent mentors for their hard work, compassion, and commitment to serve the community. Our social workers are critical to recruiting new foster parents and conduct family evaluations, home assessments, and background checks, and assist with emergency placements. Our mentors are seasoned foster parents who know how to collaborate with the department. They provide guidance on services and resources and personal support to newly licensed foster parents. We have several of our members here today, and I'd like to have Steve Duckworth come and acknowledge them.
Morning, board and staff. We want to thank you for taking time to recognize the important work that foster parents do in our community. And carrying on to what Karen said, you know, being a parent's not easy. Being a parent of your own children is not easy. You can imagine what it is to get a call at 2 o'clock in the morning and ask to provide home, stability, care, love, concern for 2, 3, 4, 5 foster kids. So we're pleased today to have our 2 foster parent mentors, Grace Perez and Sylvia Sandoval, here. These 2 ladies are not just foster parents, but like Karen said, they guide and mentor our newly licensed foster parents. So this is Grace, this is Sylvia.
Would you ladies like to say something? You could just speak into the microphone.
Hi, like he says, my name is Sylvia Sandoval, and it's an honor to be here and to receive this recognition in the name of all the past parents that are on site. Thank you so much.
It's an honor to have you guys doing this. This is so important for our children. I can't even tell you. More than so.
And so we also have 2 staff. We have Fernando Escalante, who's our supervisor for the certification program. He operates he's responsible for the day-to-day operations in that unit. And we have our newest member of that team, Maricela Cervantes. She drove the long stick or the short straw. She came down here. We have 3 other members on that team. She's our newest. And so these are 2 staff members. When the
longest and the newest.
Yes.
Can't beat that.
And so when the public's interested in becoming foster parents, if they have questions, these are who they turn to.
Right. Okay, we got a proclamation for you, a copy of it. All of you.
Get my steps in.
So you. Oops.
Some people might think that this is not doing business as usual, but if we can't honor our employees and our public, we shouldn't even be here. So this is, to me, is an honor to be able to do this for whatever the situation is and whatever department is, to congratulate them, give them confidence so that we're all behind them, all 5 of us, 100%. So item 7D, it's not quite 11 yet.
7D, Auditor Controller Department, Property Tax Administration. 1, presentation regarding the property tax administration costs for 2017-18. 2, discussion and direction to set the public hearing for May 22nd, 2018 at 11 a.m. for the 2017-18 property tax administration fees as required by County Code Section 3.36.050 for adoption of a resolution as required by Section 3.36.060.
Good morning.
Good
Jim.
morning. Morning, Chairman and Supervisors. Jim Boyadjian, Assistant Auditor Controller, retired. Today, we're again presenting to the board the Auditor Controller's calculation of property tax admin costs, $3.9 million. The county assessor, auditor controller, and tax collector cost the county to administer the property tax, to assess the values of the properties in the entire county, to collect the money, send out the bills, collect the money, and then apportion, according to the law, all of the taxes to the taxing entities, the school districts, the county, the cities, all the special, independent special districts. That calculation has been done. We're presenting it to the board, and you will see in the board letter the total costs. Out of that total cost, we can recover only $574,000. And as I explain every year, the primary reason for that is that we cannot charge the schools anything, and they are apportioned the costs based on the amount of property tax you receive in the apportionment process, and they get the majority of the taxes, so we can't recover the majority of the costs. And as the item indicates, once you have accepted the calculation, then you'll be setting a hearing to give an opportunity to the taxing entities to hear the report, and then you can approve the actual report, and we'll recover those revenues.
Great. Any questions from the board members? No, any from the public? Seeing none?
I move we set the public hearing for May 22nd, 2018 at 11 a.m.
Max seconded. Any more questions? And none? Roll call, please.
Call for the vote. Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Rodriguez?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Supervisor
two
Fraser?
He doesn't get my vote too, Rhonda. Yes.
One at a time only.
Supervisor Wheeler?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Okay. Thank you, Jim, very much.
Thank you, and
We'll
just
see
for
in
you,
2 weeks.
yeah. Well, I was going to add that Catherine Nainoa, who works in our office on property taxes, would have been presenting today, but she's out until she's at a doctor's appointment. So,
Oh, okay.
but she will be here in 2 weeks, I presume. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. 7E.
7E, County Administration Department. Discussion and consideration to adopt a resolution authorizing the submittal of an application for the public benefit new alternative fuel vehicle purchase grant program from the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District, and to authorize the county administrative officer or their designee to implement the new vehicle project, conduct all negotiations, and submit and execute all related grant documents.
Okay. Any questions? Oh, go ahead, Tristan.
Good morning. Tristan Champ, Grant Services Manager from the County Administration Department. And just to give a little bit of background on the grant funding, this is the Public Benefit New Alternative Fuel Vehicle Purchase Grant from the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District. And basically what the grant allows is it provides some funding to help offset the cost of the purchase of new alternative fuel vehicles, and that's like electric or plug-in hybrid, CNG, LNG, those types of vehicles. And it's a very unique grant. We're kind of lucky being located where we are in the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District that we get this grant, and a lot of the other air districts throughout the state don't have this kind of regular funding available.
We don't.
And basically how the grant works is it funds up to $20,000 towards the cost of a single new alternative vehicle or alternative fuel vehicle with a limit of about $100,000 per agency per year. What we're proposing to do is purchase 5 Chevrolet Volt vehicles, individually priced at about $32.8 thousand. And ideally, the San Joaquin, where the air district is going to cover about $100,000 of that total cost, and then the county would have to match the remaining approximately $64,319, and that would be drawn from the Central Garage Replacement Fund.
You said that's about 64,000?
Yeah.
Okay. So the cars that we already have, we're going to sell those too, right? So
Yeah.
So those will go back into that fund.
Right.
Central Guard Fund. Okay.
Move to approve.
Got a second?
Second.
Any questions from the board members? Any from the public? Then none. Roll call, please.
Would you try to use your voting on your vote links? for a
Oh,
minute?
that's right. We got to
Could you try
vote on
that?
here.
I'll go ahead and do a roll call vote. Call for the vote. Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Rodriguez?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Wheeler?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
That's thick, and then you just put that on after the roll call. Would that be how we would normally, or does it,
But
or is it once everybody's
Well,
in?
someday we're not
So
going to
what-
do the roll call.
Oh, okay.
That's
presently
not
what
good.
happens is we hit a start vote button. You all put your motions, your second, and your vote, and then we record the vote, and then it shows up on the screen.
Yeah, I'd made the motion. I saw it said first on that this time, but the motion wasn't rung in on that, and then so it would the second would they say second too on there? On
In
the
the
but if they
system.
do it on the screen, then it will say that. Okay.
Actually, I hit the screen earlier, so right after you made the motion, then I said second, I hit the screen.
Okay.
So
Okay,
looks
But
like it's
we'll
not.
try
Getting
this
slick.
next
It's
one.
getting good.
we'll try it again. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Okay. Item
you.
number 7F.
7F, Treasurer Tax Collector Department. Discussion and consideration of approval to appoint Jacqueline Torres Herrera as Step D Account Clerk 2 bilingual effective May 1st, 2018.
Okay, she was in here earlier, but she's not here now.
Move that we table it. Just kidding. Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we got a first and second. Any comment from the public? Seeing none. Roll call, please.
Call for the vote. Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Rodriguez?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Wheeler?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
See, like
You see
that
it didn't
time,
mark up there
the
that
motion went away before
Yeah. Before I could ever
before
push the button.
I could push it. So
So we'll work on that. We'll
Yep.
figure that out.
Okay, item 7G.
7G, Board of Directors, Groundwater Sustainability Agency, Water and Natural Resources Department. Discussion and consideration of approval to authorize and direct the Director of the County Department of Water and Natural Resources to initiate and pursue the basin boundary modifications for the Madera Subbasin referenced in this report and the resolution, and to take such further action as determined to be necessary to obtain such modifications.
Good morning. Your first
Good morning,
thing in
Chairman
front of
Miller,
us.
supervisors. I have a very brief presentation on the Madera Subbasin boundary
Yeah,
modification.
Stephanie, what we
Yes.
usually do when you come up, I mean, you say good morning, but then say your name so it's on record, because otherwise it's recorded, and a lot of people, you're new. We have everybody do it, but it's really good that you do it.
Thank you, Stephanie and Agneson. Good morning, Chairman Wheeler and board members.
Thank you.
Go back to the first slide. This is the boundary modification for the Madera Subbasin. Here is the process with the Department of Water Resources. In their process, we need a directive from the GSA board, that's you, of course, And the directive will authorize me to move ahead with the boundary modification. With this directive or board resolution, I will then notify the Department of Water Resources within 15 days. And then we will have to submit a packet of information online that describes the rationale for the basin boundary modification by the end of June. So just to give you a sense of what these basin boundary modifications are like, this is the first one. This is Rank Island. It's by Dragonfly Golf Club. It's part of the San Joaquin River Parkway. It's owned by the California Department of Fish and Wildlife. And what makes my ears perk up is that it's old gravel pits, which could be used as a recharge opportunity. So in the map, and this is a screenshot of what the Department of Water Resources shows, this particular area is not in a GSA. So we need to make sure that it follows the county boundary and that it's either in ours or in the North Kings GSA, but it needs to be somewhere because there's recharge opportunities and we want to account for that water. And that's what's called a jurisdictional boundary modification. There's another one right here. This is the San Joaquin River. And there are multiple areas where there are gaps between the county boundaries and the GIS files. You can see those in blue. And again, these are on the San Joaquin River, so those are floodplains. They're opportunities for recharge. We need to make sure that this area gets counted and that the GSA boundary and the county boundary are the same line. And you could see that there's some financial implications. You want to make sure that the parcels that are in the GSA are the ones that are in the county so that you're assessing the right parcel and not confusing people. The last one is a scientific boundary modification, and this is particularly strange. So when staff uploaded and worked with the DWR's portal to make the boundary, this is Madera Lake, and we counted it. However, it was removed by the Department of Water Resources. So that's just a mistake. They know it, but we do need to wrap it into the basin boundary modification.
Good.
Obviously, the lake is used for recharge and used by Madera Irrigation District. There's no reason for it not to be within the sub-basin. So the recommendation is to adopt a resolution. This would be a directive that allows me to move ahead with the basin boundary modifications for the Madera groundwater sub-basin. Any questions?
Any questions, Pro Tem, Mr. Frazier?
Yes. Welcome.
Thank you.
This was just kind of an observation. I've heard about this quite a few different times. And the way it was always framed was these are just lines we need to redraw on a map so that we know where everything is. What I took from this presentation was you were looking at it as an opportunity, not just something that we had to do. You looked at it as this is a place for recharge. This is a place for recharge, and I just wanted to say I appreciated that you're looking at it as an opportunity, not just work that needs to be done, which is kind of how it had always been presented to me in the past as a pain. And so I appreciate that, and I thought I should comment.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Rogers.
I love it that you're already looking at those opportunities to replenish groundwater. That's a great thing, along with Brett. My question would be, are there any additional costs associated with this boundary, about these boundary adjustments, land surveys, anything that are going to be required to? Okay.
Nope, no additional costs.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board members? Any from the public? What's your
move to
pleasure?
approve.
I've already did it right
Oh,
here.
okay. Sorry about that.
Just trying.
You going to second it?
Oops, jeez. Dang.
I already made a second.
There it is.
Look at that.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, roll call, please.
Call for the vote. Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Rodriguez?
Yes.
Supervisor Wheeler?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you,
for your first
Stephanie. You
one.
did
Huh?
great.
5-0 vote already.
Yeah. And that don't come easy from us. Pending legislation. Anybody got any we know of? Seeing none. Supervisor and staff reports. Mr. Robb.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to remind everybody that there's an event in State Senate District 12. It's called the Flatlanders Parade. It's in the Ranchos. And it's a great event. It goes from 8 a.m. till 2 o'clock, and the whole community gets out. And so I'd just like to encourage everybody to be there. The Flatlanders Parade this Saturday.
Al. Max. Dave.
Yeah, most of you probably have had your eyes on what's going on with Temperance Flat Dam funding, and the state, in their infinite wisdom, Water Commission, has limited the awards from Prop 1 to 170 million for Temperance Flat, which is abysmally falling short of the necessary funds to even consider moving in that direction. And the commission at this point, or the JPA, Joint Powers Authority, consisting of the 5 counties and other organizations, at this point has to decide whether they want to move in another direction for the funding or keep the offer of 170 million. What was lost in the translation was the fish habitat, the ecosystem benefits, and so that limited the funding. It still amazes me that the state doesn't consider groundwater recharge beneficial to the public, and I'm it ought to incense everybody that our groundwater is not important to the state, other than holding us back.
Right. So I just wanted to report on the early morning express train to Sacramento that we went on the inaugural ride yesterday. Left my house at 4:15. I was in Sacramento by 7:35 yesterday, and didn't have to drive other than to the station. So it was well attended. My chief of staff, Melissa, myself, her husband who loves trains, and Mayor Medellin, Councilman Will Oliver. We picked up different people all up and down the line, but it was pretty fun to be a part of something like that. It was historic, and to be able to get there, and they had a press conference in Sacramento, and when we got there, a lot of different people from the legislature came out to congratulate us on it, and so it was.
How far is it from when you get there to the Capitol?
You're right. You get dropped off right there at the Sacramento Valley Station, which is right across the street from Old Town Sacramento. So it's a short walk, about 3 or 4 blocks to the Capitol. You can be there, have meetings at 8 o'clock. You can set a morning of meetings, get done by 12, get back on the train at 12:35, get home by 3:30. So, I mean, that is
amazing.
Great way to travel, and so enjoyed that. When you need to get up to Sacramento for just some morning meetings, I'd urge you to take it. $50 round trip. You can't do that with a tank of gas.
Nope, I guarantee you.
So, and then you can also meet for all day long, get on the 5 o'clock train and get home by, I think it was 8:30, 8:45. But, the good part, you don't have to drive, and it was direct service, so there was no, you didn't have to get on a bus in Stockton or anything like that. So you're on the train the whole time.
It's going to revolutionize my travel.
Yeah, it's
everybody's.
It will make that. It's like 80% of the travelers on there are leisure. This should pick up that business traveler. Yeah.
Last Friday they had the Heritage Days. for the kids, all the grammar school kids. I think it's the 2nd to the 4th grade at the Corsico Rodeo. Over 600 kids came there that day from 9 o'clock to 1:30 actually. And I taught kids how to wish for water with my wishing sticks, and probably did 300 kids at least. I mean, and if you could see their eyes and those things, yeah, I had a water line there. So when they hit the water and those things twisting their hands and they can't stop it, their eyes are that big. And half the teachers and parents, when they see the kids do it, they want to do it. So quite a day. So I've been doing that quite a few years, but that it just seemed like Friday was just special. There were so many kids, and luckily where they put my booth, there's a water line right there. So
It's physics.
It was really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Can't
one
stop
kid, he
it.
just started walking off, and they actually had a hose out there, and the owner of the place, Kevin Tweed, was watering some of the trees, and he walked across there, and across the water hose was running. It just really jerked. And he really got shocked, I tell you. But anyway, it was a great day. Eric?
Nothing to report.
Scott?
Nothing to report.
Rhonda?
Nothing to report, sir.
Sarah? Okay, we're going to take a 5-minute break and go back and celebrate somebody's birthday.
Why don't we do?
Let's do the
want to
hearing.
say the
Public
hearing?
hearing.
What about your?
Let's get the hearing. and
Okay,
they can-
you want to do that? That's fine.
Yeah. I don't want just 5 minutes.
Okay, let's do the public hearing then.
6A, public hearing. Board of Directors, Special Districts, County Service Area Number 19, Public Works Department Administration Division. Hearing to consider adoption of a resolution setting water service fees for County Service Area 19, Rolling Hills.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm Abel Kayat again with Public Works. With me here is the person in charge of our administrative division, Ms. Ander Saldate. And I guess, Ander, you'll take it from here.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Andrew Saldati, Program Manager with Public Works. So on March 13th, you as the board gave Public Works Department direction to move forward with the initial negotiations with a private water company, Bakeman Water, and also in that meeting also gave us direction to start the rate increase process with the Rolling Hills District. We started that process. We sent out notices to 358 parcel owners, and we had a community meeting with them on April 9th at Valley Children's Hospital, which was well attended. The district themselves, there was mixed reviews as to why we were doing the rate increase now, knowing that we were going into the negotiation process with Bakeman. The district has a large amount of debt, $289,000 roundabout, and about $5,000 worth of interest as well. That was the main reason for the rate increase. Through the negotiation process, we have been talking about this debt that needs to be taken care of and hold up before the sale of the water system can happen. As of now, the district needed 180 votes to protest the rate increase. As of right now, we have 213 votes.
No
votes. So that means that the rate increase has been defeated. The resolution that we are asking for approval of now is void because the protest hearing, this is the protest hearing, the vast majority of the district has voiced their opinion and protest with a no vote of 213. So at this point in time, the rate increase will not go into effect. We will continue with the negotiation process with Bakeman Water Company and see how that pans out. And through that process, again, try to hold up this debt. If nothing pans out through negotiations, we will start to look at cash reserves if there are any available and go from there.
Yes, Brett.
Yeah, and obviously this debt is going to get paid one way or the other, whether they pay it or Bakeman pays it, and then Bakeman charges them in their rate to recoup that cost from himself. Like I had told them there, would you rather pay less than it's like less than 1%,
right?
With us, or would you want to pay it over time? Some of the feedback I've gotten since is that when the 218 went out, it was just everything was blended into one number of $96 or $92.30, whatever it was, and that they weren't sure where the extra money was going to. Even when we told them, when they looked at the paper, they had already cast their no vote, saying that they thought we were just raising it for whatever reason. So I reached out to the HOA and said, okay, now you guys figure out how you want to pay for it. You want to do it? You want to me, it's a simple business decision. Am I going to pay 8% on money over 30 years? Or if I can get rid of my debt in, 2 to 3 years at less than 1%, I mean, that's pretty simple math, I think.
Depends where they went to school.
Yeah, but I think there just takes some education of it. I did tell them that, regardless, there's still a deficit in terms of meeting the requirements for operations and maintenance, and that was like roughly like $4 to $5 a month that we may need to go out for as well. But I think meeting with the HOA, seeing what they come back with, the blended, I think they wanted it only be $10 a month or whatever. I'll work with them, see what we can do. But I did tell them we'll probably be doing another 218 in short order to figure out where they want to go, and we can have options for them, and they just make a simple business decision. But there will be another one coming forward.
Amazing.
If I may, Supervisor, thank you for that. And I know how you reach out for the community, and all your efforts are noticed by them and us. But one thing, not only this is a business decision, but this is also an operation and maintenance responsibility.
Right.
If knowing what the status of the system right now, which is in jeopardy, if anything happens right now, I'm going to be back here asking your board
For more money? Yeah.
for money.
We could do a protest vote. No.
So I'm just saying that not, our concern also, these negotiations, they don't happen real quickly. I mean, there will be some time, and we're moving as fast as humanly possible. Trust me. I mean, just today, I think we have a meeting internally, but this takes time, and the summer is upon us, and the usage of water, and not only that, how responsible those residents are with abiding by the conserving water and watering outside. So I'm just, of course, we are ready to take anything that comes our way, Public Works, and we're awesome. But I'm just saying that this financial burden is not an easy matter.
The debt is a business decision to them, whether they want to pay it now or pay it later. They're gonna. It doesn't go away.
Higher rate, more money already.
Yeah. So if it's just how we have to send it out in a different way and break it out into different, we can figure out how to do that. And I'm confident. And Andrea did a wonderful job at that meeting there, explaining it perfectly. But a lot of people had already made up their minds and already cast their vote. And I mean, I think going into that meeting, they were already at like 140. Yeah, they were at 140. They just needed 40 more. So it was not, it was, the die had been cast already. And it wasn't, I'm sure there was a lot of people in the room that walked out and wanted to get their vote back, but couldn't do it after Andrea's presentation. So thank you for.
Is there a group of them that's fighting it, or is there just, what is it?
Their whole board, people just didn't understand it. Instead of coming to me and talking about it or going to Ahmad and talking about it, they had already had their mind made up, that, which is why they're privatizing anyways, because they didn't trust Madera County anyways. So then they got this, and even Dehadrojan at the March 13th meeting stood up and urged us to pass the 218 election, to levy that 218 election. Now he didn't say anything at that meeting, but
he didn't.
But he didn't stand up and say this is why you should do it either.
Shame.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want us to do? It says here adopt a resolution.
Well, Supervisor.
No, we can't because
we
there was
cannot
a
at this
protest.
point,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it's just over, right?
Yeah, there's no action needed to be taken because at this point,
Just
the
information on
residents have protested the rate, so there's no need to adopt the resolution.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the public?
In the future, when we bring back these, because when this agenda went out, and obviously when I read it, and if I was thinking that it seemed like we were trying to pass something, because I read the resolution and whereas there was no majority protest, and I knew that there was over 200 that they had. Is there some way to agendize that as where it shows that there had been a or does it have to be?
When we send out the notices, we allow the residents up until the close of business the night prior to cast their ballot. So essentially, we don't know in full if it has been protested or not until the day of the hearing. And there are also a number of people that could show up if they wanted to, and we would take the protest at that point as well. So we proceed as if it's not going to get defeated because that's
But if we already
the
knew that there
boilerplate
was,
language.
other than 34 people coming in and saying I want to change my vote, it just it did. There was some people that were saying, and they're going forward with this even though it's they're just going to ramrod us. And then I just think if there's some way, and I don't know if county council, if there's some way to agendize it that gives two options, an A or a B, that to accept the protest vote that defeated Prop 2, just for the future. It doesn't,
I have an idea. First, that's a good idea, but the resolution needs to be ready for your signature if passed. But of course, now we know it wasn't going to.
But if you have
but
an A
maybe in the board
or
letter,
B,
we will clarify.
Yeah.
The attached resolution will be signed if there is no protest. If not, we will proceed with the attached resolution.
Yeah,
That's a good,
at this
good
point,
observation.
there's
Thank you.
been this many
I understand.
protests, and so it's just a way to, because perception is
Acknowledge their
reality.
control.
Understand that.
We would add it to all future ones because I don't think it will change our practice.
Because I jumped to that same conclusion, and I
know that.
you got my text at 5 a.m.
Yes.
because I had read it that night before. I couldn't wait until it was an appropriate time to be able to send you a text. I don't know if 5 is that number.
You always answer mine at 5 in the morning.
Yes, sir.
But that was if I thought that, and not everybody has, you very quickly calmed me down and let me know that why it was that way. But a lot of people don't have that ability, and I'm just trying to make Melissa.
This mimics every other Prop 218, but it doesn't mean we can't improvise.
Yeah.
So definitely we will.
Yeah, perfect. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Andrea, very much.
Thank you.
Okay, now then, I would like to vote to adjourn. Oh, yes.
Just one additional comment under that. So we do need to follow the public hearing notice that did go out, which gave the possibility that it could be voted upon for approval. Of course, that notice went out 45 days or more before. And there is still the possibility that someone could withdraw a vote even up to the point of the board meeting. So I guess my suggestion would be in the staff report, maybe we could indicate we have already received enough opposition sufficient to defeat the resolution. So unless X number of votes or unless a sufficient number of votes have been withdrawn at the board meeting, the board will be prohibited from adopting the resolution, something like
Yeah,
that.
that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
I think that's good wording. Yeah.
It's a pretty rare instance, though. I will say, I think this is the first time I've seen one actually defeated. Of course, the smaller districts, it could be defeated, but you almost never see, in a city or something like
and
that.
They've both been in District 1. I wasn't there for one of them.
Yeah, again, smaller districts. Yeah,
That is the power of public outreach.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those foreigners. Fresno.
Oh.
Thank you.
District
Okay,
1 people are okay with me.
Thank you. Yeah.
adjourn, motion, done. Let's go in and have a little celebration with Mr. Brett. He likes his cake. Ice cream too. Huh?
I would like that on there. I don't have it on my phone, but just on my